What's up, spectators? Welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Dual Destinies. It's Trial 2, Day 1, and we're playing as Apollo. Let's get back into the business. You claim the alderman struck back after the mayor put a spear through him. But the statue he supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory. It would appear that the defense has a counter-argument. Very well, let's hear what the defense thinks is odd about the detective statue theory. Right, I remember now where we were. Yeah, they were claiming that the alderman was impaled, then used the statue to strike back at, Tenma. Which can't be true because there are no fingerprints. Which was listed in the evidence, so. There are no fingerprints on this supposedly crucial piece of evidence. And if you look at the crime scene photo... What? Oh. Wait. Okay. Wasn't expecting this. This one? This one? Wait. No? What do you want from me? What do you want? I've done what you wanted. Take it. Take this. Look at this photo. I'm very confused. Should I read it? Or, What do you want? I'm reading through. Oh, what the hell? Okay. You'll notice that the alderman isn't wearing gloves. Yes, I believe he is quite loveless indeed. If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, didn't you? Ah, this can't be happening! Did I arrest the wrong man? Yeah, you did, you big dope. You did it, Apollo! You knocked Detective Fulbright off of his high horse. Well, it's just 1 point in our favor. Who do you suppose clubbed the mayor if it wasn't the alderman? Well, if it wasn't the alderman, that means someone else must have clubbed the mayor. You mean there was a third party there in the Fox chamber? Exactly, and this could be the big break we've been looking for. Some good music. Yeah. There does seem to be a hole in the prosecution's argument. Prosecutor Blackwell, would you care to respond to the defense's assertion? What you got to say, What you got to say? The least you can do is look at me while being dismissive. Yeah, you punk ass. Your mind is as dull as an unhoned blade, Justice Dono. Justice Dono? He's been watching too many samurai flicks. Cheesy! It will take far more than that to cut down Simon Blackwell. Damn, you're cool. A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackwell. There is a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall that blood-stained cloth found at the scene of the crime. Well, it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting at? Hone your mind, boy. Was there blood on that cloth? Solve that riddle, and you shall see that the hole you thought you found is but an illusion. Now let's see. How was that cloth used? Was it used by QB as a head covering? To wipe up blood? To wrap the statue? Okay, cloth has the blood. No. This seems like it would be right. Maybe the cloth was used to wipe as much of the mayor's blood as possible off the statue. And in the process, the culprit inadvertently erased the alderman's fingerprints as well. Objection! Ooh, that's a cool objection. But the mayor did not bother to wipe away his own fingerprints on the murder weapon. Why would he wipe down one weapon but not the other? Careful now. Use what little brains you have left before you speak. Give me a do-over on that one, please. Now let's see. How was that cloth used? This is the only one left to wrap up the statue. Maybe the alderman wrapped the statue in the cloth. In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used to strike back at the mayor. Ah! Precisely. Bully for you, boy. What does that mean? I've never heard that expression. Oh, it was nothing. Apollo, don't let him start manipulating you too. You just closed the hole for the prosecution. I did! Right. That a statue wrapped in cloth would leave no fingerprints is as plain as day. But this also proves there are no holes in our theory of the alderman striking back. Damn you, Apollo, you idiot! Fox and demon statue updated in the court record. Weapon used to bludgeon the mayor wrapped in a large cloth. 2 pages. Now do you see how dull your mind is? I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. That's a lame comeback. A particularly frightening inmate once told me that. He always tenderly honed his blades before he went to work, like the samurai of yore. That's what she said. Oh, dirty. Samurai? Sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me. Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. Wait, so the inmate was a murdering samurai prison chef? Sounds like it could be a great TV show. It would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all. I was kinda attached to that hole. Now what? Apollo, I just thought of something. If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statue, who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mayor with it? Why didn't I think of that? Because you're stupid, Apollo! Anybody could have not left prints on it. Then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with the statue? Please illuminate us with your wisdom, young lady. There's only one answer. The real killer. Prove the existence of this real killer, then. What evidence have you? Okay, I'll give you evidence, alright. Oh, you want evidence? Oh, I'll give you the evidence. Athena, are you sure about this? To borrow your words, Apollo, I'm fine. Really? That's what you're gonna quote me on? Take a look at this. Black feathers and tracks allegedly from a yokai were found at the scene. I believe they're from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue. Is the defense actually suggesting some sort of monster killed that alderman? That's exactly what I'm suggesting. Objection! No, Athena, you just lost with that little credibility we had left. Come on, this is the worst defense team right now. Sorry, guess I got carried away. Mr. Justice, we've no time to deal with objections between members of the defense. Sorry, Your Honor. It's just this kid. Still a kid. Burn. I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright. So, is this court to believe the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it? No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman. Interesting. Why do you suppose the killer would do that? Why indeed? Oh, Apollo, come on. Mr. Justice, you seem as new to this as your partner is. Yeah, you deserve that. This I'm not reporting to Mr. Wright. Oi, Fulbright. Explain to his baldness what these brats are missing. You know the who and the why behind those feathers and tracks. You mean you can explain all that? Look at his face. Look at his dumb face. Our investigative prowess is without equal. I'm starting to think I chose the wrong profession. Very well, let's hear about these so-called yokai feathers and tracks. I mean, Apollo should have become a musician, a magician, like his, the family trade. Would have been cool. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the prostators. DJ Oing? That's how I'm gonna pronounce your name. DJoing? I also kind of want to pronounce it that way, but I'm gonna assume it's DJ Oing. Thank you for bringing up that little Twilight little inside joke reference thing. Oh, I need to read some more books. What's wrong with me? Okay. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer. Those feathers and tracks stoked the villagers' fears. Absolutely. He knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds. Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accursed demon Tenmataro, that is. Tenma who? Tenmataro, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. Oh! From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black feather demon. And thus were they blinded to other, more plausible explanations. Hold it! Hold on for a second. Before we start letting our imaginations run wild, you know what I want to hear? Since Black Quill's objection voice is so awesome, if you remember from the third game, when Goddett and Wright are playing, they start doing objections like every turn for like 30 seconds, and it was really badass. And once more, some other point. Okay, I'm rambling. Stop. Okay, let's just read. Hold on for a second before we start letting our imaginations run wild. Isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect? Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at QB Manor. And as part of this event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of Tenmataro. Obviously, this person is much more likely suspect than any legendary demon. Objection! Objection! Ugh. I like you, Black Quill. And your shackles are badass too. Dullard, you are playing right into the killer's mind games. I do like mind games. What? Listen here, the feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believed the murder to be the work of the real Tenmataro. However, the police believe that the person in the Tenmataro suit is the killer. Ah! The defendant sought to sow his confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. That's a fun phrase. Sought to sow. However, he was knocked unconscious by the alderman. And thus, our mentally deficient mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of the crime. Objection! Do you honestly believe Mayor Tenma would do something so stupid? Objection! Oh, badass. The evidence speaks for itself, Fulbright. Right. It was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The amazing Ninetales was fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and the hometown favorite. Phew, that's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice. But do the people of Ninetales Vale really believe a yokai is behind the crime? Yokai sightings are on an every-day event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I must say, a crime that preys upon innocent, impressionable minds. Just so, a particularly silver-tongued inmate once had the following words for me. The innocent of heart are the easiest prey. You don't say. Was this inmate a con artist? No. What the hell? He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap. Is that important? Is that important? Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey. Is he important? Yes, well. Now then, the defense may proceed with their cross-examination. Cross-exam! Feathers and tracks. Bum. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Hold it! Detective Fulbright, is the anti-merger movement really that strong? Oh, absolutely! They parade around in yokai costumes shouting, "Down with Mayor Tenma!" And just the other day, they stormed Tenma City Hall, claiming it was the den of vipers. But when the accused showed his face, the angry mob scattered like leaves upon an autumn wind. For you see, lowly yokai are no match for Tenmataro, the dark lord of their kind. Wait, are the villagers scared of Mayor Tenma or Tenmataro? I'm confused. I think he means Mayor Tenma. It's easy to get the wrong impression about the guy. Detective Fulbright, why do you suppose the defendant would commit such an act? Mayor Tenma panicked when the Amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters.
Hold it!
The Amazing Ninetales. No one knows his true identity, right? That's right. Ooh! And he was a lone wolf, or in other words, he didn't belong to a wrestling federation. He appeared like a shooting star, defeating one Tenma Town wrestler after another. And before anyone knew it, he was champion. Like the samurai of yore, surrounding thick with enemies, he cut them down one by one. It was a complete and utter loss of face for Tenma Town Pro Wrestling. He was amazing! If ever there was a real superhero, it would be him. Tickets to the gun show. I dream of becoming a true champion of justice like him someday. I bet Detective Fulbright would be a great pro wrestler. He could even team up with Prosecutor Blackquill. Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, Athena? Yeah, you would. Shut your mouth. A police detective and a prisoner in chains. You know, I think people would actually pay to see that. I know I would. So you do understand the greatness that is the Amazing Ninetales. Okay. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster.
Hold it!
Did the murder and yokai evidence really stoke the villagers' fears? Absolutely, it had an immediate effect. The presumed return of the dreaded Tenmataro has them shaking in their boots. Oh my, is it really that bad? That superstitious lot, it's as if Jack the Ripper had been set loose in their village. The mere thought of that demon lurking about is enough to spark a mass exodus. I see. That's a very persuasive argument. The mere thought of his honor buying into Simon the Psycho Slasher's words makes me want to spark my own exodus out of the courtroom right about now. So you see, there can be only one reason why anyone would plant those feathers and tracks. Oh, we're back to the fist. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer.
Hold
it! But it doesn't add up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder? Moida. What do you mean? You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence to stoke the villagers' fears. If so, then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman Cuby? Excellent point. Stop trying to copy Phoenix. If it is, isn't it? So your honor agrees there was no reason for the murder, correct? Actually, I guess everyone technically stomps the table, so he's not really copying anyone. Although someone should trademark it. Trademark? That would, wait, would that fit a pose or an action? Trademarks? I don't know, trademarks, patents, copyrights, it's all a confusing mess of nonsense. Perhaps the killing was spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated. From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. A startling discovery? Why don't I like the sound of that? Alderman Cuby's secret identity. Apollo. I think Prosecutor Blackquill has figured out the Alderman's secret identity. No way! But even if he has, why wouldn't it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the Amazing Ninetales. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene. Oh my! But why would it have been there? The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. Need I say more? Well, there should be a remix of this. Could it really be? Your boldness has had an epiphany, I see. Victim Rex Cuby was the Amazing Ninetales! Oh! And the mayor's discovery of such was his motive for murder. I'm shocked! Shocked! Calm down, everyone, settle down. Order! Order! What a shocking development. A motive clearer than crystal clear. What do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they'd tie the Alderman's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. At last, we've reached my real point. Why did the Alderman have to forge a secret identity? And it's been over 20 minutes, so I'm going to end this video here, so stay tuned tomorrow for the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye! Fun fact, Adam is actually harvested from sea slugs. And they're put into the little sister's stomachs, and it generates far more Adam than it would normally on its own, which is pretty disgusting. Oh, I kind of want to listen. Why are you running? Is it because I'm running? It's because I'm running, isn't it? Shoot. I didn't realize. Art, science, to industry.